Let's start the interview. So, dyan po sa binigay kong guide questions sa paper, pwede na po siyang sagutin ng tuloy-tuloy. First po yung name, then course, then saan po nag-graduate, tsaka anong year po, then yung research topic, research paper type, kung individual po ba yung research, then details po about doon, pati na rin po yung experience. Lastly po yung advice as I start my research. Thank you po.
Hello, my name is Nicole Dominic Dalida. I graduated from the University of Santo Tomas in 2014, where I received my Bachelor of Arts in Journalism. So for my thesis, I decided to do an analytical research focusing on immersive journalism, its effectivity, and whether the journalists involved are actually following the codes of journalism. So my research was actually a mix between a qualitative and quantitative one. Uh, on the end that I had to analyze the codes of journalism and how it is applied in immersive journalism. That's qualitative, and for the part that I wanted to know its overall effectivity, that was quantitative. So I still had to do surveys to be able to get the results for that one. I had I actually surveyed around 150 students from half from the University of Santo Tomas and half from the University of the Philippines. These students were also journalist students. So uh, I chose them because they have an idea of what immersive journalism is, and they know how it can affect and what it does. So that's why I chose them. I actually didn't spend that much for my research because I used Google Docs instead of printing out anything. The only thing I had to actually pay for was the printing and binding of my research paper when I finished it. When it comes to time, it took me around a year from conceptualization to survey to gathering data. It was just around a year, which was incidentally the start of our thesis course in my course. My whole experience is a bit blurry now since it's been 4 years already, but I remember a lot of sleepless nights and um, grinding for people to immediately answer the surveys because I also had a deadline with my psychometrician. Basically, I learned there that some things may not go your way, and it's okay. You just have to adapt because there was a time actually that, oh, pro tip, always save your drafts because it happened to me then. It was my third draft, and I was so sleepy that I closed my draft, and I did not completely understand that um, when I press no, it will not save. So I had to redo my third draft all over again, and it was not fun. Another lesson or highlight that I got from doing my research is that it's fun when it's fun, and it's hard. It's extremely hard when you're right at the end. There's this pressure, and then since I'm doing mine alone, everything was on my shoulders. I've always thought maybe I should have gotten team thesis mates instead, but in the end, when I had my paper binded and ready to be given to my professor, it had my name on it, and it was worth it in that sense. that I had this thesis that was made from my blood and sweat, and it's all my own. It was like a mini baby for me. My advice when doing research is to always have backups and to not try not to be disappointed with the results that you get, because when I got mine and it was a middle ground type of answer, it was not as exciting as I wanted it to be, and that bummed me out. And actually, there's nothing wrong with that. I guess just always hope for the best, but be ready for the worst. Also, if you do it on your own, if you decide to, you really need to put yourself into it, because if something goes wrong, you have no one else to turn to. It will really toughen you up, but it will also show you the weaknesses in yourself, whether organizational or time management. You really have to push through it on your own, and there's no one there's nothing wrong with asking for help, but if you take on that challenge, you need to be able to see through to the end on your own. So that's about it for my thesis or research experience.